You know, if
Cool.
it's not us, it's gonna be somebody else, and somebody else is maybe somebody that like
Don't
that
come from
wouldn't
that
do that.
neighborhood.
Exactly, they're not born and raised. Like I live right down the street from my house, from the store. I
Yeah.
walk to the store every day. 5 minute walk. So I'm also a product of the neighborhood. Like I know exactly how tough it could be, but this is also another thing of like showing my peers or other people around me, like, hey, you're from the neighborhood. You don't have to be part of the neighborhood.
I'm
You
glad
could
you
have
said that.
something in the neighborhood. You
I'm
know,
glad you said that. Let's go back. Let's go back because I grew up in Chicago. I am from Chicago. I'm one of the homeboys. All right. So take me back. Growing up, we all know that Chicago was a very rough place in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It was a fun place to be, but it was also it could get very grimy and dirty. And Little Village and Pilsen and stuff like that. Those were not places that you wanted to be if you weren't buying dope. You had if you weren't trying to get you a little fix, you had no business being over there. So take me
because
back. What
it's
did
one of those
you?
pockets. Yeah, it's one of those pockets in the city that like is infamous, or like it has its own reputation. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people are like be are wary. Like they don't like you actually live over there. Like oh, I don't want to go over there. Like I couldn't have like friends over for birthday parties and stuff because it was like a lot of people were worried about safety and whatnot, right? But for me, growing up in this, it gave me like both book smarts and street smart. Well, not book because of school, right? But like it gave me that the reality of how things can be. But at the same time, I saw a lot of generations grow up. I knew all my neighbors growing up. Like I knew them by names. The one from across the alley, the one from across the street, the one on the left, the one on the right. Um, all the things that happened in Little Village that didn't happen in other parts of the city. I mean, maybe some parts do, but the water hydrants, the ice cream trucks, the paletero man coming down, all the block parties, like all these other little things that like you saw the beauty in the neighborhood. Like, yeah, it's tough, but at the same time, it's not tough every day.
No,
Not
and that was a thing. Like it could be treacherous, but you had to be involved with the treacherous shit that was going
exactly,
on. For the most part, our communities policed themselves and they took care of each other. But the only
exactly,
thing was, is there was crime and there was drugs and everything. But you did have fun growing up.
and it
Like you
was like
said, the fire
specific
hydrants and
crimes, right?
everything. Yeah,
There was specific crimes that you already knew either you're on the wrong place at the wrong time,
yeah,
or you provoked it, right?
yeah,
Other than that, as a bystander, as somebody that grew up in the neighborhood, like it's actually very like it's homey. It's very like I find it safer than other parts of the
yeah,
city, right?
yeah, yeah.
Ironically,
Yeah, like it
once
was cool to be outside. Like everybody knew everybody.